Hello and welcome to Shelf Centered. This is Top Shelf News. We're changing the name already, and that name fully goes to friend of the channel, the great, the one and only Boiled Jellyfish. Thank you so much. That's at least what we're going with for now. I think I used to run a segment that was called like Top Shelf Books or something like that. So anyway, I like that. I like the top shelfedness of it. Anyway. Just back to some news and fantasy and sci-fi related news regarding books, anticipated releases, media, you name it, channel announcements, whatnot. Anything I can fit into this, I will do. But anyway, the big focus though, of course, is, you might even say what we're centered around, is the shelf, the books themselves. So jumping right into the books, we are talking first off, there is a new Dresden Files novella, The Law, coming out very shortly. I'm really excited for it. One, I think I need to do a deep dive as being a lawyer, and I can tell you about all the things that are most likely wrong about it, mostly because people want a fun and exciting story, and the law is not that at all. So you have to embellish things inherently. My job is very boring most of the time. So, and the courtroom is very, it's just sadly lacking in people who can't handle the truth. So it's not going to happen very often. But anyway, I will do a breakdown. Okay, you've heard it here first. We'll see. Just anyway, what's right and wrong about that? We'll do a big breakdown. Maybe do like a live stream about it. We'll see. I don't know. I love the Dresden Files. I am fully caught up with the main series. I just have one more I was saving because I knew there was a big kind of break between book 15, what was it, Skin Game, and then Peace Talks and Battleground. There was a big, huge break, so I kind of anticipated there being another break, so I held off when I was really just jonesing for some more Dresden Files. So I still have briefcases to read. I know it was recommended to me to read that before reading Battleground, but I couldn't. I knew I was going to be suffering here waiting for more Dresden Files. I was doing so well, slowly catching up, but not fully catching up. But then in the last couple of years, I read too many. I couldn't help myself. They just get so good. You can't help yourself, and it's not even gonna hurt. I'm actually excited to do a reread, even though this is so many books in the series. But James Marsters just makes it go down so well on top of it. There's another short story, at least, that came out just recently. It's Little Things. Looks like it's about Toot Toot, a beloved character in the series. That's going to be in the Heroic Hearts anthology, and that already came out this year, I believe, in May. So, and then just to let you know, there is going to be a live stream coming up. It's going to be Jim Butcher and James Marsden. James Marsters. Did I say Marsden? James Marsters. Sorry, man. Marsden being another actor. All right, that live stream is going to be July 5th, 12 noon in the Pacific time, 3 o'clock p.m. in Eastern Standard Time. So anyway, it's worth checking out if you're available during those during that time. I always like hearing Jim Butcher's talk. Let's see, Scott Lynch news. If you are a fellow gentleman bastard, I've actually only read Lives of Locke Lamora. This was one of the multiple series that are just coming out slow enough that I put off after first reading book number 1 until knowing that there'd be more, and I have enough to reread. I don't need to reread more, but I have been dying to read some more. Ben, formerly of Literature and Lo-Fi, even challenged me to go back in and read, and I'm probably going to have to take him up on that because I have been dying to read some more. Gentleman Bastard, sort of a cool name anyway, but looks like the author's is opening up. He's always been pretty open in the last at least like 10 years or so, just about his mental health, and it looks like he's gotten on some really good anti-anxiety medication that's really working, and he's really making some good headway in book 4 of The Gentleman Bastard, so that's The Thorn of Emberlane. And then also he's completed 3 novellas. So I mean, what a time to be alive for the Gentleman Bastards. Really excited for that series. And again, this is I have a hard time when new stuff starts getting going. It's hard not to jump on the bandwagon and get back into it. I loved Lies of Locke Lamora, and I need to read the rest of them. All right, book news number 3. I guess I wasn't really counting them, but there is going to be a new Tolkien book. Can you believe it? It's The Fall of Numenor. It's edited by Brian Silby. It just, this one's gonna, looks like, as far as I can tell, it's not really new stuff. It's more just stuff pulled from wherever relating to The Fall of Numenor and kind of put into one book. I read somewhere in one of the news articles that said like a greatest hits album, and this might be kind of the first of the greatest hits. I guess it makes sense. It's hard not to see a greatest hits album just before the series is coming out. And I mean, maybe they're just trying to make it handy and nice and convenient for us to be able to appreciate the Amazon Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power series coming up here. It's hard not to just go, that seems really like a blatant cash grab. Hey, they're welcome to do it. You can cash grab all you want. But it is kind of like, we already kind of have all this stuff. It's just putting it in a nice form. Anyway, Alan Lee has some more artwork, so that's good. All right, quick one. Ken Liu is Dandelion Dynasty. This is one more just because I thought it was funny. People were really complaining about this, and it drives me nuts too, so I think it's worth some news. But the book 4, and I'll pop up a picture, the spines are not lining up, guys. It's just as first world of a problem as you can get, but man, is it maddening for a book collector to have. All right, then we just had an announcement for the Locus Awards are out. We have some winners, but this is a big prestigious award, especially in the fantasy and sci-fi genres. This has been a big one. This is one of the big ones. It's like Hugo, Nebula, Locus Awards. Those are the big 3 really that I have always kind of looked to. But interesting. I'll just leave a link below. Just wanted to make sure I didn't hear a lot of clamoring about it. But anyway, some interesting books were up as nominees. The ones that stood out to me is it happens to be a series I just started this year, but Jade Legacy just won for fantasy novel. I mean, what an award-winning series that is. Jade City with the World Fantasy Award-winning book or winner. I just read some Stephen Graham Jones, and his book My Heart is a Chainsaw just won for horror. Again, I feel pretty justified in believing the book that I read, which was Living Dead in Dallas, was a zombie book, and apparently it wasn't. So check out my review below. I totally messed that one up. All right, then this one's a big one, I thought. The Witcher series is getting hardcover release. I thought that might be some exciting news for some people. This is an Orbit. Orbit kind of, I don't know, they have an interesting publication kind of schedule in what they do. They tend to opt a lot for these trade paperbacks, which are not hardcover, but they're but they're not like a full-blown paperback. It's almost like the optimal price. They can get more, but not all the way that a hardback can get. And I know they do have their hardbacks here and there. I think The Expanse is in hardback to some degree, but again, best-selling series are going to get that. Witcher, I'm sure, is one of those. All right, I just talked about this one in my last video, but I thought I'd bring it up here. The anticipated book that I am looking forward to has got to be Fairy Tale by Stephen King. I'm really excited for that. It's kind of making me want to go in and read Eyes of the Dragon, which I still haven't read, if only for its Dark Tower references. I love me some Dark Tower. Also got me some of the graphic novels that I need to read and review for the channel, but it's been too long and I've needed to get some Dark Tower back in my life. Anyway, I don't know I haven't heard anything whether Fairy Tale will have any Dark Tower references or what. It's hard not to think that it will. King seems to like to kind of tie everything into the Dark Tower. I could be completely wrong though. All right, want to go into just a bit of a media. I've kind of taken a little bit of a break. I haven't been watching too much, been focusing more on my reading, which is a good thing. It's been really enjoyable. Just mentioned The Lord of the Rings, might as well talk about it a little bit more. We just had, so the Rings of Power, Lord of the Rings, the Amazon series, we just had a bit of they're showing kind of, it's just funny in this internet age of the build up to a series. It felt like the Wheel of Time didn't get a whole lot of push, but it did pretty well. So as far as views, Rings of Power seems to be getting more of these little tidbits here and there. So one of those tidbits is just a look at the orcs, and they're looking good. They're looking like the orcs from the original Lord of the Rings. So it looks like they're using prosthetics for the orcs instead of, or at least, you know, kind of more practical effects on these orcs. And instead of the mostly atrocity that is The Hobbit, I didn't hate it too much. I actually enjoyed many parts of at least the first book or the first movie, and then I struggled from there. But I like to see that they learn some things, so that's always a good thing, and so maybe they learned some things on some other things. Anyway, I know a lot of people have a lot of opinions on the trailer. I did kind of a immediate reaction. I mean, it's all it is a teaser trailer at this point. I don't know how people have so many opinions on everything this early in the game, to be honest. Either way, or whatever, if you want to call it, whatever politically motivated thing you want to, I just don't know how you read all that into such a short amount of time. And anyway, I'm going to give it its due, and we'll see what goes from there. I might have complaints, I might not. But so far, a lot of money thrown into this. We'll see. All right, then I got to talk about Thor, Love and Thunder. That's coming up very shortly. I believe that comes out July 9th, July 8th? July 8th, I think. And so that's coming right around the corner. I mean, I've loved Christian Bale for a while, so it's going to be fun seeing him as a bad guy. Taika Waititi's become an easy new favorite director. Everything he does just seems to just be amazing. Jojo Rabbit, are you kidding me? I mean, and then What We Do in the Shadows and everything. He continues to direct and have a lot to do with the What We Do in the Shadows show, so not just the movie that he starred in. Taika Waititi, and then to like blow up Thor and make it from, I thought, the worst of the Marvel movies. They were like, yeah, they're fine, you know, it's better than not having a Marvel movie, but man, Thor Ragnarok just immediately jumped it up into my top 5, or maybe even top 3. It just depends, but I love it. Maybe even top 1, I don't know. Does it beat out Guardians of the Galaxy? That's really the test for me, and it does in definitely a lot of aspects. So I can't say how excited I am about Thor Love and Thunder, because what a nutty, I can't even wait. And already the trailers were just great. And then to have the Guardians of the Galaxy in the movie, it looks like playing a decent role. They seem to be in a lot of scenes, at least. So we'll see, but I just have so much confidence in Taika Waititi. I mean, his Star Wars related stuff, just being involved in The Mandalorian is like, he made that. I'm sure it was just because of his involvement that it was so good. And then he's doing his own Star Wars stuff. I can't wait. It's just, and it sounds like it's going to be, and speaking of which, I guess that's the news too, is his own Star Wars seems to be, it's going to be its own thing. It's not going to be tied very heavily to the kind of major players, but it'll still be in the same galaxy far away. It sounds like far away. But I don't know. I think that's the perfect way to utilize Taika Waititi, and that's what I'm hoping. Let's utilize him well. I still, like I said, I haven't been watching a lot lately, so Obi-Wan Kenobi I have not even read, or I haven't even watched that series yet, so we'll see. I've been trying to find a time to watch it with the kids, and then my son's at camp this week, and whatever, and now we're moving apparently. So anyway, speaking of that, let's do some life updates. So apparently I'm moving, and I gotta let you know, videos might be spotty in the next month or two. It's gonna be crazy. It was kind of this last minute deal. We're gonna be moving, looks like end of August, and so until then I'm packing and getting everything ready and dealing with also trying to keep up on work. So anyway, you've been warned right here, right now, that the hoping to at least keep it to 1 a week. We'll see, but 2 a week might not even be doable, at least for the near future. I am going on vacation from the 15th of July to the 23rd. Family's going to Mexico, so I'm excited for that. So that's also gonna, that's part of the fun of all of this, of adulting and all that. So on Friday, I will be joining Steve for his just conversation, Friday conversation. Looks like we're gonna have Epic, Taylor, and Scott along with the illustrious Steve. He's finally allowed me to be on the channel. I'm surprised he is allowing me, to be honest. I have been obnoxious, to say the least, as far as scheduling, but he is the most patient, humble, kind person that you could ever meet. And so there is that, and that's all that I have going for me. So anyway, I cannot wait to have a good chat and see what the chat brings. So anyway, please show up to that. That'll be on Friday Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern. So be there, be square, and check us out. It'll be fun. I have been able to join in on the chat for the last couple weeks, and I think Steve just felt bad for me. So he said, okay, come on, we'll let you on. All right. And so anyway, really excited for that. But anyway, check it out. I'll be there, and you should too. Anyway, hey, this has been the Top Shelf News, okay? Top Shelf News coming. This is Poppy Gloria for Top Shelf News, and we will check you later. Bye.